Xiaomi Mi 11i/Mi 11X Pro review. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe buttons, so that we can continue to provide the latest information about gadgets and technology. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. Will it ever end? Xiaomi's Mi 11 lineup numbers as many as 8 devices at the time of writing this review, spanning a wide range of feature sets and price points. It's the Mi 11i we have for you this time, following a couple of lights, an Ultra, and the Mi 11 proper, which we all reviewed recently. A few more words on naming and market positioning are needed for the sake of clarity, though clarity might be an unattainable goal. We'll be referring to the phone as Mi 11i because that's what it says on the box we have here, but essentially the same device goes by Mi 11X Pro in India, and the two are in turn nearly identical to the Redmi K40 Pro Plus sold in China. Here's how they compare specs-wise. Looking at the specs of the Mi 11i, we're pegging it as a member of the flagship killer breed if we assume that's still a thing. It's got the top-end Snapdragon 888 chip to justify being mentioned in the same sentence as the big boys, but that's coupled with little downgrades throughout to be able to fit the killer budget. Little being the operative word. The display isn't 1440p as on the higher spec'd Mi 11s, but it's still a 120Hz capable Super AMOLED with HDR support and sky-high brightness. The camera system is almost the same as on the Mi 11 proper, an 108MP main unit, albeit a different, smaller sensor, an ultra-wide, lower res, but with equally fixed focus, and the same 5MP sort of tele macro that's better than most. A few dozen mAh in the battery capacity and 33 watts charging instead of 55 watts or 67 watts, meanwhile, are the definition of little downgrades as is the GG5 protection instead of Victus. Xiaomi Mi 11i specs at a glance. Body, 163.7 by 76.4 by 7. 8mm, 196 grams, IP53 dust and splash protection. Display, 6.67 inches Super AMOLED, 120Hz, HDR10+, 1300 nits, peak, 1080 by 2400 px resolution, 20:9 aspect ratio, 395p. Chipset, Qualcomm SM8350 Snapdragon 888 5G, 5 nanometers, octa-core, 1x2. 84 GHz Creo 680 and 3x2. 42 GHz Creo 680 and 4x1. 80 GHz Creo 680. Adreno 660. Memory, 128 GB 8 GB RAM, 256 GB 8 GB RAM, UFS 3.1. OS/software, Android 11, MIUI 12. Rear camera, wide, main, 108MP, f/1.8, 26mm, 1.52, 0.7 micrometers, TAF, ultra wide angle, 8MP, f/2.2, 119, macro, 5MP, f/2.4, 50mm, 1/5.0, 1.12 micrometers. Front camera, 20MP, f/2.5, wide, 1/3.4, 0.8 micrometers. Video capture, rear camera, 8K at 30 fps, 4K at 30/60 fps, 1080p at 30/60/120/240/960 fps, gyro ICE, HDR10+, front camera, 1080p at 30 fps, 720p at 120 fps. Battery, 4520 mAh, fast charging 33 watts, 100% in 52 minutes, advertised, power delivery 3.0, quick charge 3+. Miscellaneous, fingerprint reader, side mounted, infrared port. Xiaomi Mi 11i unboxing. The Mi 11i ships in the same white box with copper lettering we got on the Mi 11 proper. That's in contrast to the black box we got the Mi 11 Ultra in. That said, the India-bound Mi 11X Pro comes in a black box with a different design that includes a likeness of the phone on the lid. The box contents, on the other hand, are identical for the Mi 11i and the Mi 11X Pro, well, minus the charger prongs, which vary by region. You get the 33 watts charger and a USB A to C cable, a headphone dongle, and a clear silicone protective case. Mi 11s may be many and of various stature, but Xiaomi's done well at making them look like they belong to the same family, well, perhaps save for the Ultra. Since a phone's personality lies in its camera bump lately, it's precisely the bit that unites the 2021 crop of Mis. The two-step island, which some liken to a reel-to-reel tape deck, houses all three cameras in the higher section, alongside one of the auxiliary mics. The main camera also gets a silver ring around the lens to signify its top-ranking position. Meanwhile, on the lower level, you'll be seeing the LED flash and a 108MP AI triple camera text advertising what's inside. Since the camera is offset to the side of the phone and it sticks out quite a bit, the handset will wobble on a table. If you're one to type with your index fingers with the phone lying on its back, this could prove annoying. The family genes go beyond the Mi brand, and the Mi 11i here looks vaguely like a Poco F3 we have lying around, itself not dissimilar to the Redmi K40. And when we say vaguely, we mean it's just the text that sets them apart. The back of the Mi 11i is made of Gorilla Glass 5, or at least that's what it says on the FAQ page for the Mi 11X Pro on the Xiaomi India website. The specs of either phone don't go into this much detail, and Corning's database is also mum at the moment. The glossy back has a mirror-like effect, which is a double win. On the one hand, you get to use it, well, as a mirror. On the other, your eyes tend to focus on the reflection, as opposed to the panel itself, which can get pretty messy with fingerprints. Over on the front, the GG5 clad 6.67-inch AMOLED display is surrounded by reasonably thin bezels. There's more of a black border than what you'd find on a Mi 11 Pro/11 Ultra, but it's not really objectionable. Another aspect of the front's design in which the Mi 11i differs from these other three more upmarket Mi's is the fact that its display is flat. The high-end models have curved panels. If you have problems with curved displays, you'll appreciate the Mi 11i's planar screen, but it's just not as premium as the curved ones. There's a tiny punch hole for the selfie camera, which is nice, but it's also got a thin silver ring around it, drawing unnecessary attention. Above it and to the left is the earpiece slit. The driver itself is lower inside the phone and underneath the display. This same driver also serves as the second speaker in the stereo speaker pair, and there's a grill on the top for sound to come out of as well. That means that there's significant spillage of sound when you're on a voice call, so you might want to keep the volume a notch below what you're used to in quieter environments. The top of the phone is home to that speaker grill on the one side, and there's a matching 3-hole grill lookalike on the other side, only that's not related to the speaker. One of the pinholes is for another mic, while the other houses the IR emitter. Down on the bottom is where the USB-C port is, with the usual items keeping it company, the primary speaker and mic, as well as the SIM slot. The tray accepts 2 nano SIMs but won't take a micro SD. The Mi 11i's storage isn't expandable. Maybe you'll notice the red gasket and think the phone is properly weather sealed, but it only has an IP53 rating. Splashes of light rain should be okay, submersion may kill it. The frame of the Mi 11i is by all accounts made of plastic. We spotted some shiny aluminum when we opened the SIM slot, but some internet research and a bit of scratching of our heads and the frame itself convinced
Thanks
us
for
plastic.
watching.
It's got a two-tone
Drop a
finish
like,
with mate center
leave a
strip
comment,
shining chamfers towards
and
the
don't forget to
display in the back.
subscribe to
The
watch
frame
more
is widened a bit
videos
on
like
the right
this.
side to accommodate the Mi 11i's physical controls. The power button is just above the midpoint, so it's easily accessible with either the left index finger or the right thumb. The volume